If YouTube isn't recommending your content and you're crying yourself to sleep at night because you're not getting any views, then you're probably making a few simple mistakes. But luckily, there are some simple fixes to help you, your channel, and your YouTube videos get more views. In this video, I'm going to break down why the YouTube algorithm has some relationship issues with your channel, and the 5 simple things you need to fix to start getting more views, more subscribers, get monetized, and earn money for your channel. But just before we dive in, I've got a simple question I want you to answer. Why do you think your videos aren't getting recommended on YouTube? I'll pause for a second so you can comment below. And my guess is that you've wrote one of 2 things. Either the algorithm is against you, or it's all just down to luck. Let's see, shall we? So the first reason why your content isn't getting recommended is because you're giving off mixed signals. And when I say mixed signals, I mean you're basically telling YouTube, hey, my channel's about cooking, but also gaming, and also vlogs about my dog. Do something. Now, maybe that is a slight exaggeration, but my guess is your content doesn't target one audience. You pick video topics with a blindfold and a dartboard, and your thumbnails lack any sort of consistency. It's kind of like opening a box of chocolates and finding a banana and a screwdriver. So you might create amazing videos, but they're all for different audiences, which confuses the algorithm. But then you find a channel like this. They went from 0 subscribers to a silver play button in just 6 months because every upload targets one specific audience and they have a consistent brand. Their content is centered around a single topic, increasing productivity. Now, this helps the fabled YouTube algorithm because it knows what viewers like to watch over and over again. It also knows that similar viewers will watch the same thing, and it knows that viewers will binge watch the consistency of the content. So that's the first step you need to make to get your content onto the homepage. Get specific on who your target audience is. Create content around one very specific topic, and make sure that your thumbnails are consistent so that they look branded. When somebody goes to the homepage, you want them to know that it's one of your videos within 2 seconds or less. And if you do all of these 3 things well, then your videos will be pulled to more viewers who love to watch the type of content that you're making consistently. As a simple exercise, for the next 3 to 5 videos, stick to one topic that you know to work on your channel. Yeah. Simple as that. All right, so you've stopped confusing the algorithm by shouting in 17 different directions. That's a good start. But people are still not clicking and watching your videos. What gives? Well, here is the next possible reason. And to explain, I want you to take a look at these 2 titles and tell me which one would you click on. You've only got 3 seconds to decide. Now, hopefully you said the second one, right? Because you're judging them as a viewer. But why? Why is title 2 so much better? Well, it's because the idea behind that title is razor sharp. If your ideas are blurry, it's like they're stuck behind a foggy shower screen that the audience can't clearly see. And that's because your titles are missing 3 critical ingredients that make the video idea crystal clear. The first ingredient, I have to say very slowly and deliberately: specificity. Generic ideas don't get clicks. The title, How to Grow on YouTube, is vague. Grow what exactly? My views, my subscribers? How fast am I going to grow? Who is this for? Your video idea needs to be like a laser beam that just cuts through all of the fog. And you do this by getting specific. For example, take a look at this title. It gives a clear result and a clear action, making it much more clickable. Ingredient number 2, a clear outcome. People typically tend to click on videos to experience some form of transformation, be it big or small. And this is especially true when you're making educational videos. For example, how to edit videos faster is okay, but this editing trick will save you 5 hours a week is 10 times more powerful. And this is because it's promising a clear outcome. So you have to ask the question, what transformation will my viewer experience if they watch the video? Will it get them a 6-pack? Will it stop them making mistakes? Will they learn something that saves them hours of work? Or will they have the opportunity to earn more money? The promise must be both obvious and exciting. And finally, you can inject a third ingredient: urgency. Why should they click on your video right now? Because if you are new to the viewer, you may only get one shot, one impression to win them over. In a very simple example, how to knit your Christmas jumper in less than 7 days is a lot better than just how to knit your Christmas jumper. This is because you're putting a deadline on the result. And it makes people think, wow, I can knit this in a week. Does it usually take that long to knit jumpers? I don't know, it's not my niche. Anyway, you're adding much more urgency behind the click, which is always a good thing. So here is a helpful checklist before you make your next video. Ask yourself, is my idea specific enough to write in a single sentence? Does it promise a clear outcome? And is there urgency, a reason to click today? When your ideas are clear, focused, and packed with tension, that misty fog around the video clears. And that means the viewer knows instantly what it's about and whether or not to click. And to help you write better titles, make sure to download the vidIQ browser extension that will make title suggestions that you can adjust to target different emotions, like urgency. There is a link in the description. All right, we're getting there. Your channel's sending clear signals and your ideas are sharp. But it's still a sneaky little thing, well actually it's quite a big thing, that's killing your views. Your thumbnails are terrible. I am sorry, not sorry, someone had to say it. YouTube might actually be showing your videos to people, but nobody's clicking on them. And that's often because your thumbnail looks like it was made by Microsoft Paint during an earthquake. They're cluttered, confusing, there's no central focal point, and they create zero curiosity. What you have to try and do is think of your thumbnail as a movie poster. Sometimes a movie poster is the only thing I'm going to see about the film. And if I can't figure out what the film is from that movie poster, do you think I'm going to buy a ticket? And sure, everybody loves emojis in moderation, but they're not your answer to a decent thumbnail. So then, how do you fix your thumbnails so that you can bend the YouTube algorithm in your favor? Well, one of the easiest ways to start fixing this is to adopt the 2-second rule. What this means is that when somebody sees your thumbnail, they should instantly understand what it's about, why it matters, and the emotion the viewer feels that creates attention to click. For example, check out this recent thumbnail from our channel. 2 seconds, that's all you get. But the thumbnail worked, right? And that's because it only includes 3 main elements: myself, the text, and a subtle background. The text is in a big bold font, so it's easy to read, and my expression communicates the emotion, and that is concern over monetization, which is a key goal of all YouTube creators. So when you combine all of this together, and in 2 seconds, the viewer knows what the video is about, that is a chef's kiss moment, because 2 seconds is typically all you get. I mean, I was really generous earlier when I gave you 3 seconds to look at those 2 titles. All right then, let's say you've nailed the title, you've nailed the thumbnail, and you've even convinced the YouTube algorithm into actually giving you some impressions. But then something weird and really annoying happens. People click, but they don't stick around. What's that all about? Well, the problem might be this. You're breaking the promise. It's called expectation mismatch, and it destroys the retention of your videos, which is a really important signal to YouTube and decides whether or not to keep sharing your videos to viewers' feeds. Here's what this will look like in your YouTube analytics. A huge drop off in audience retention in the first 30 seconds of your video, and overall video retention, which is way below these numbers, which are the average for YouTube. So let's try and find out why all of this happens. Well, it's likely because the hook of a video, those vital first few seconds, don't match the packaging of a video, the title and the thumbnail. Just think about it for a moment. The viewer clicked on the video for the secret sauce, that valuable piece of information, the unfolding of an epic story with great jeopardy. But instead, you serve them up an appetizer they never asked for. For example, imagine if your title was this. There's intrigue there, with high stakes. But then your video actually starts like this. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And oh my goodness, it's getting cold outside, isn't it? But I'm looking forward to the winter season, Black Friday and all. And I think what I'm gonna do is get some SSDs, because let me tell you something, 4K video, absolute storage monster. Boom, 50% of your audience just vanished because you took too long getting to the point. And now they're binge watching cat videos, which is really annoying because, as you all know by now, cats are stupid.
Whoa!
And it's all because they clicked on a video you promised was about saving a channel, and instead you're talking about SSDs. So imagine instead if you start the video like this. Last week, YouTube deleted my channel that had 120,000 subscribers, and it's all my fault. Here's how to avoid the same mistake. Notice now how the hook of a video matches the promise of the title. This is much more likely to keep people watching because it delivers tension, clarity, and value right from the start. So here is 2 very simple steps to follow. Try to repeat your title in the first or second line of your video hook. It doesn't have to be word for word, but reinforce the promise made. This is the easiest way to confirm to the viewer that the video isn't clickbait. And the second step is to promise value straight away. As I said earlier, the audience clicked on the video because they're expecting some form of transformation. So again, you want to reinforce that promise of how they're going to achieve that in the hook. And if you're able to combine these, then you're much more likely to meet your audience's expectation right at the very start of a video. I mean, let's put it like this. The very fact that you are still watching this video would suggest that we've met your expectations, maybe even exceeded them. All right, this final step is a bit next level and rarely spoken about, but is arguably more important than writing SEO-rich descriptions and adding video tags. This is all about making the content, the video itself, SEO friendly. And why should you do that? Well, it's because YouTube transcribes your videos, every single word, into multiple languages. YouTube uses something called automatic speech recognition. It can identify keywords that tell it what your content is about. Remember when YouTube decided to demonetize videos if people used F-bombs in the first 7 seconds of videos? Yeah, that's how we know how YouTube is listening to everything that we say. So if you make a video about YouTube growth and you say YouTube growth 5 times or more in a video, then YouTube knows the video is likely to be for creators. But if you make a video about chocolate cake but never actually mention chocolate cake or the ingredients that's used in said chocolate cake, YouTube might not be as confident about what the video is. So it sounds obvious, but make sure that you clearly communicate what your video is about in the first 30 seconds of a video. Let me show you the difference. So I discovered this incredible method that completely changed everything for me. So I discovered this YouTube growth strategy that doubled my subscribers in 30 days. So the first one could be about anything: cooking, weight loss, cryptocurrency. But the second one, as we've mentioned a few times already in this video, has more clarity. YouTube knows what this is about and who to serve it to. So before you press record on your next video, have a little think about the target keywords that your ideal audience is searching for. And then try to make a conscious effort to naturally weave this language into your content, especially in the first 30 seconds. But do notice how I said naturally. You are still ultimately speaking to humans, not writing scripts for robots. As for whether YouTube watches videos as well to understand what they're about, yeah, they probably do. I'm just not sure how to influence that side of the algorithm. So now you know exactly why the YouTube algorithm has been ignoring you for all of this time. You're going to get monetized now, right? Well, maybe. You see, you could watch this video 10 times over and still not get monetized. And it's not because these strategies don't work or that you're lazy. No, it's more because you don't know how to implement all of this for your specific channel. So over here is a video all about small channels in incredibly specific niches that are getting monetized incredibly fast.